So I don't know what the hell Adobe was thinking when they decided they were going to become an AI company instead of a creative software company. I don't even know what Adobe is at this point. I don't know why anybody would subscribe to Adobe if you didn't have to. I mean, obviously, a lot of people that work in the creative space need to have Adobe software because they've been using it for years. A lot of their files are in that format. I get it. But this company has really lost its way. It was supposed to be a company that had tools for creatives, and now it's a subscription AI service or something. And we've got Canva. If you're going to do that, Canva already does it. And they also have Affinity. Now they bought Affinity, which currently I don't think has AI injected into it, but I don't know. But you don't have to subscribe to it. You buy it one time. But yeah, it's not going very well for them. They've lost over 30% of their stock value. Now, they do have an investor call coming up, and maybe they'll do better. But, this chart kind of spells it out in Yahoo Finance. Shares of Adobe have decreased 31.5% over the past year, lagging behind the S&P index at 13.5% rise. This is everybody else. This is Adobe. So what's going on? Well, everything's backfiring for them, right? I mean, people were already pissed about the subscription service. Then people were pissed about the AI, the pivot to AI, and then there's a class action lawsuit out there that they're making it very, very hard to cancel Adobe. So we're going to take a look at it here. And look, guys, I mean, if you can get away from Adobe, do it. I think we've told you before to do it. I have a problem because I've got years of files that are in Adobe format that would take me forever to convert, and I don't think they're going to play nice with other programs. But if you're not as invested as I am, I would recommend starting with something else. How Affinity looks okay for now. I mean, it's owned by Canva, so who knows? But that's what they want. They want you to subscribe to your software. You never actually own your software. Man, they got in trouble too. I forgot about that. They got in trouble too because they were using people's cloud uploads to train their AI, and their AI is shit, by the way. I've used it before to do minor corrections on images, and it's not very good. It really isn't. You're better off just taking the image into another program, using another model or something if you're going to use AI to tweak your stuff. But I digress. Let's talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV and to help support the channel. We don't do super chats over here. If you want to support us, that's the place to do it. We've got some bonus content over there as well. So Investopedia had it. AI could spell trouble for software, these experts say, to avoid one stock in particular. So analysts at Oppenheimer downgraded shares of Adobe, which exemplifies some of the major challenges facing the application software industry. Software was once the hottest industry on Wall Street, not so in the AI era. So S&P 500 software stocks lagged behind the broader index for the second consecutive year in 2025 as companies making the picks and shovels of the AI build-out led the stock market higher. They said one example, just don't invest in these companies. One example was Adobe. Oppenheimer downgraded Adobe stock to perform from outperform and withdrew its price target entirely, citing threats from AI that apply to varying degrees across the application software industry. All Adobe had to do was just keep on keeping on doing what it was doing. I mean, they pretty much own the creative space. And there's so much backlash now from people over AI, and we could have a conversation about whether it's warranted or not. But regardless, the backlash is palpable. Everybody's talking about AI, and if you had an option that was not AI, and you actually said, "Hey, we're not going to use AI here at Adobe because we built our business on or for creatives over the last several decades, and that's what we're going to do," and I think you'd have a lot more support. And also make it so you could buy the software once, and that is it. Like it used to be, you'd buy it on a disc and you owned it. Now you don't. Now you got to pay $30 to $60 a month, just to use Photoshop, which is ridiculous. So one of the primary issues Adobe faces, according to Oppenheimer, is the perception that AI is weakening its competitive position. Generative AI is increasing the velocity of content creation while lowering price and subscriber growth. Well, again, Photoshop's not good at it. And there's so many other applications that are cheaper, right? I mean, just be Photoshop. And the AI in Photoshop, bogs the whole damn thing down. Like Photoshop is an unusable mess unless you've got like a gaming rig at this point. It's so hard to use, right? And you can actually do pretty much, the stuff you want to do with like a Canva or some other online tool or a shareware tool or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there are other options out there. You don't need Photoshop. I need Photoshop because I've got so many files that just don't import right. And I've tried it with GIMP and, even Affinity. The stuff just does not import correctly. So I'm kind of stuck with it for now. But yeah, if I could get rid of it, I'd get rid of it. They said that they worry that generative AI could upend the seat-based pricing model on which many software as a service providers like Adobe are built. Don't be a software as a service provider. Just sell the damn software in the box, let people buy it, and then they own it. Man, I remember back in the day when I first started buying Adobe. I think I started buying it. Now, I worked with it for years. I actually started using Adobe. It was 2 or 3. So I'm that old. Guys, I'm that old. But when I started buying it myself, it was like, I think the first version of Photoshop I bought was like Photoshop 7. And I remember it being like $500 or $600 back then. And then they started doing Creative Suite and they kind of forced you to buy all the applications. But it really was a much better deal because, I was doing like pagination work. And so you had to buy PageMaker, I think was the one they had, and Quark Express and all this other, that was Corel. But all these packages used to cost hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. And, so they started to realize that people were just pirating the software. So then they started charging us. But actually what I think it was is they realized creatives could get by on an older version of the software as long as it did what they wanted it to do. I mean, if you were using your current version of Photoshop for like 10 freaking years, they're not going to make any more money off you, right? And people were selling their pre-owned copies. I think I bought Creative Suite one time off of eBay, and it was probably a $1,200 package, and I got for like $200. It was fine because they just they disconnected the serial from their computer, and I put it on mine, and that was it. But yeah. It's ridiculous. Photoshop's ridiculous. And there's so many things. I mean, we put an article up on the clownsfishtv.com website, and they've got competitive pressures because they said that they have open source options like Flux and ZImage, and of course GIMP and Affinity's way cheaper. Canva and Figma are reimagining workflows for AI, and they're so much cheaper than Adobe. It's just not looking good. What triggered the wave of creator backlash against Adobe? Creators feared their Creative Cloud uploads could fuel models like Firefly without permission, which they did do. Adobe clarified the training relies on licensed Adobe stock and public domain sources, not customer files. Distrust grew. Regardless, Amplify on X, where users called for boycotts, labeling the company as untrustworthy. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't help that they're in the middle of a class action lawsuit where they make it damn near impossible to cancel the software without penalty either. So to me, I'm just looking at this company like, you guys are freaking desperate. I mean, you're desperate. There's so many other options out there. Affinity, Clip Studio, Procreate, and a lot of them are vowing to avoid AI altogether, supposedly. I mean, we'll see. But I just don't think it was a very good idea for them to go down this road. I mean, I get that they were like, we got to keep up with the Joneses, but your customer base is against it. A lot of them. I would say the majority of probably 75 to 90% of Adobe users probably aren't cool with AI, or at least if, AI is going to be part of the package, they want to be able to give consent, right? And at this point, I call it like the gray gooing of software. If everything does the same thing, then what sets you apart, right? There's literally nothing that sets Adobe apart from these other applications at this point. There really isn't. And especially with AI, just kind of, everything becomes very homogenous. And we saw this with social media too. We saw Facebook almost nuke itself by becoming everything. Instead of being the best Facebook it could possibly become, they decided to keep grafting parts onto it. Google does this all the time. They're doing it with YouTube now. They're not content to just be YouTube. Now they got to be TikTok too. Oh, and we have to be Twitter too with the communities. And we got to be Shopify or, Amazon or something with different links and all that shit. So, I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for them. I don't think it's going to end well. I think they're probably going to get gobbled up by some other company. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what they want, right? Maybe they're just like, well, it's either we get, eaten by another company or we just go out of business. And, if those are your two choices and you're facing an existential crisis, you want to, cash out, I guess. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We will talk later.